This episode was brought to you by Keeps.
Initiating moisture.
When it comes to blockbuster franchises, none are more mediocre than the Terminator series. There's only two good entries into the franchise, the first and second movie. It's not exactly brave to say that, not controversial, it's pretty well accepted those are the only two good things Terminator related. And I'm not just talking about movies, all the movies post T2 have sucked some fat asshole, but even like everything licensed on it, video games, the fucking ride at Universal, all of them, just straight dog shit for some reason, just super stinky. I don't know why they can't make anything good Terminator related. And going into the new Terminator Dark Fate, Andrew and I were expecting to just kind of laugh at it like we have with the other Terminators. But to our surprise, this movie absolutely slaps. They've finally done what we all thought was impossible. They made another good Terminator movie. For the better part of 2 fucking decades, they couldn't make anything that even resembled passable quality in the Terminator universe. But now, they've finally done it with Dark Fate. I really liked almost everything about this movie, as did Andrew. There were obvious goofy moments, as you would expect from something like this. A lot of their speeches reminded me of pretty low-quality anime. Our fates aren't written, we can change our fates, yahoo! Friendship and the power of love and what it means to be human. Nothing overly unique in that aspect. But it's still a oorah, good feeling wholesomeness shit when it happens. It's cheesy, it's fun, but it is very goofy nonetheless. The thing I like the most about this movie, the thing that I think they absolutely nailed, the best decision Terminator has ever made, is they totally just forgot everything they've made after Terminator 2. They don't just retconned it. They said, you know what? We know everything post Judgment Day is just a pile of shit. We're throwing it in the toilet where it belongs. So this movie picks up right after Terminator 2, and it feels like the first canon entry into the Terminator franchise since T2. It feels right, and I think the plot's really nice. I think it's creative. I like the spin they put on it, Sarah Connor's role in it, as well as the new characters they introduce. I think Grace is a really good character. Arnold is still an absolute joy to watch on screen and the development his characters had. And overall, the plot doesn't have like twists and turns or anything, but the characters they introduce and the plot points that are there are really well made. Objectively, I think they're just decently done. I also really like the choreography in this movie. The action scenes in this are definitely the best in the entire franchise. At times, it reminded me of Jackie Chan. One of the new characters, Grace, will often use improvised weapons where she's grabbing fucking car doors or something and using them as shields. She grabs a chain and spins it around. She's often using all kinds of weapons and trying to fight off the new Rev that's trying to assassinate another main character. I'm trying to do my best to avoid even the smallest spoilers because I know I often do spoil things by total accident in some of these. But just know that Grace is an augmented human who fights a lot like Jackie Chan would if Jackie Chan was a future robot fucking awesome kung fu master assassin. I really enjoyed the choreography. It wasn't just shoot at this thing that immediately heals itself, shoot at this fucking water metal thing. It was fight this water metal thing and beat some ass in. I just really enjoyed the action overall. It was very, very well done and creative. But that also leads me to another complaint. There is a lot of action, and not all of it is as high quality as other scenes. For example, one scene that really stood out to me in the beginning is the first fight between Grace and the new Terminator trying to kill Danny, the new main focal point of the story. The movement feels weird to watch. It feels stretchy, like every character is Mr. Fantastic. They'll have scenes where they're stretching out like Michael Jordan in Space Jam going for the final dunk, which obviously aren't meant to be there. It's just when they're going from frame by frame and they're breaking down the movement, you can kind of see that elongating shit. Kind of reminiscent of DC's movies back when their CGI was really bad, like Justice League. Their CGI is still kind of bad, but that's the most obvious example. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't look natural or fluid. It looks kind of shitty at times. Really only the movement, the impact and everything, it looks about what you'd expect. But just specifically when they're going from point A to point B during a fight, like they're jumping and everything, it looks like shit sometimes. Not that it's the biggest issue, nor is it that like glaringly obvious, but when you're trying to focus on the action and that kind of shit's happening, you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Is that an action figure flying around? What's going on with the physics here? Just something that most people will probably notice but trying to brush off. I know I did because everything else is just really cool about it when they're fighting. I also think the acting in this is surprisingly good for Terminator. I really think everyone all around did a pretty solid job with their performance, especially Arnold. Arnold is just a fucking classic. Just him in and of himself reminds me of everything I've always loved about movies. Just every character he fucking plays, I love. And in this movie, I really like what he does. Again, I don't know. I'm just a huge Arnie fan. Sarah Connor's actress, she does a great job as well. It's just a good movie, which is super surprising to say about anything Terminator related these days. There's a couple of plot holes that I noticed, and I don't want to point out because I'm not doing spoilers. But aside from just some bad CGI occasionally, some plot holes, and just occasional goofiness in general. There's like a scene where Grace, to prove she's a robot, does like this weird incel switchblade thing where she slices a fly in half to prove she's the master of the blade. So there is definitely some goofiness there for the sake of goofiness. But I don't really have many bad things to say about this movie overall. Plugging the new Terminator Dark Fate into the moist meter, I'm giving this bad boy a nice 80%. And it makes me optimistic for what comes next in the Terminator universe because they've set it up for more. They've completely redone the whole universe of what's going on in Terminator now, and I'm excited, which I didn't think would ever happen again because Terminator seemed like just such a throwaway franchise with nothing going for it. Good movie.
You know what a super scary statistic is? 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. That's horrifying. Right now, for 66% of men, there's a ticking time bomb of hair loss ready to blow at any point. The good news? Let me tell you about Keeps. With today's advancements in science, Keeps offers proven treatments that can combat the symptoms of hair loss. You can visit a certified doctor online with Keeps and get the medication delivered directly to you in a discreet delivery, so nobody needs to know you're fighting unwanted hair loss. Prevention is key to keeping your hair, and Keeps treatments are up to 90% effective at reducing and stopping further hair loss. More than likely, the sooner you start using Keeps, the more hair you'll save. Starting at just $10 a month, you can get 50% off your order by visiting keeps.com/moist. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/moist to receive 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/moist.